Welcome back to Just Carve Rob. And what are we doing? We got a piece of basswood that was cut on the corner that's 3 inches long and an inch and 3/4 wide. Well, squared. So we're going to take this knife here, this utility knife, Stanley knife. We're going to cut the edge, the thin edges off the sides there, so that it doesn't hurt our hands so much. And we're going to take the edges off the top and off the bottom, and then we're going to draw a little line because we're going to be carving a motorcycle guy. Yeah. Or hippie. Or motorcycle hippie. I don't know. He's going to have bandana, and that's what we're kind of just sketching in there. It came down about, 3/8 of an inch down from the top. And that is giving me the where the hairline's going to be, and then underneath that we're drawing around with the pencil there, and I'm just going to kind of mark in where that bandana's going to be. We're going to give him some big honking ears too. Yep. And some of the camera work here is terrible, 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 terrible. As it goes on, the worse it gets. So just be forewarned. Okay. So now we're taking off the front. We're going to put the bandana. There again, we're coming down about 1/4 to 3/8 of an inch. And we just got to keep pushing this back, and because we want it round, we want to get rid of that triangle shape. And now you can see I'm drawing in the bandana. Right there. Kind of just roughing it in where I want it. Everything is pretty loose yet. So we're going to mark the hairline again. Drag that knife across there. And this will probably be the cheapest, the good carving knife you can get. It's one of those Stanley knives, utility knife. And then once you get it, strop the heck out of that blade. Because if you look at the blade, when you put it in there brand new, you can see it's a little rough. It's got little lines on it. So you can go ahead and use it that way. It works fine. But then once it gets dull, strop it like you would a regular knife. And it's even sharper than it was new. Yeah. This blade here is probably, a year old? But the only thing I do with it is carve with it. Yep. You can see I ground the blade back to give it a nose like a regular carving blade. And I tell you, it's flexible, it's thin, it's fast, and you get pretty good control over it with that big handle. Yep. So the cheapest, bestest carving knife right there, in my opinion. The bestest. The cheapest and the bestest. And we're just going to keep working that bandana in there. That's what it's going to be. A bandana. And we're cutting up to it. And, just working it. You got to make sure that you don't cut up on an angle too far, or else you can get the ears to be have the dog ears. Yeah, I was just showing that you want to make it round, keep rounding it, so you don't got like that diamond point or that triangle point on there. You're gonna strop this knife just like I told you, a couple times, and boom, she's back to super, super sharp. I really enjoy using this razor blade, basically. And if you type it into your Google search bar, or your, not Google, YouTube, there's a lot of people that make these into carving knives. Some of them put some epoxy in there to glue so that the blade fits more tightly into the handle. I seen one guy use body filler and you just wax the crap out of that blade, and then you place it in there and close it up. Once it all sets up, then that blade is super duper held in there. But with the wax on it, it helps prevent the fiberglass filler, or the like Bondo body filler, from sticking to the blade. So there's that, and you can just YouTube it. I seen a guy. This one is just basically, it's a blade. It's a non-adjustable handle. You know, a lot of them you push the button and it slides out. This one's not adjustable. I just like it that way. So I don't got to worry if I'm carving and I'm squeezing that thing and my hand pushes down that button and you go to push, the blade slides in when you're not expecting it. So I like this one because it's non-adjustable. Once you put the blade in it, it's in it. The only bad thing is once you put the blade in it, it's in it. You know, it's always sticking out. So you got to make sure you keep an eye on it. Don't want to accidentally stuff it in your pocket, forgetting that the blade does not retract on this. Mine just sits on the workbench. But if you're at like a job site, there again, I like this for cutting drywall and carpeting, because I don't have to worry about, there again, the blade sliding in on me. Now we're cutting in, the nose, where we think we're going to put our nose there. And I'm using the end of that blade. I'm going to make a little swoop cut there. And this little cut here can take some practice. You'll know when you get too deep, because then the blade will start chattering on you. So you can see I'm doing that rolling swoop cut away from the nose. And then right there I start running into problems with the I could have grabbed one of my other blades, but I kind of wanted to show that if all you got is a razor knife, you can still carve. Yeah, you can get these things. I think I got a couple of them that I bought at like Goodwill or Habitat for Humanity, and they were dirt cheap. I think I paid $1 for it, and one of them even had 5 blades in it. You can't even buy the 5 blades for $1 anymore. It's worth buying the knife just to get the blades. And then this thing here I'm using is a knife I made. Thin little knife. Only the front part of it is sharp. The rest of it is just metal. Because sometimes, you know, when you got to get in there, like into the corner of an eye, you got a real long blade, the blade will end up hitting the nose or something that you don't want to cut, like a lip. I've had that happen where you're reaching up in there to cut the mustache, and because you're using like, let's say, 1.5-inch blade to get in there to cut the mouth in for the mustache, and what'll happen is you won't be paying good enough attention. The back part of the blade will split the lip right in two. Yeah. So I wanted something with a bit of a reach to it, but only sharp at the end. Right. This is only sharp. I think the actual blade length is something like 3/4 of an inch. So only 3/4 of an inch or less is actually sharp, and then all the rest of that metal you see is just the metal tang. And I rounded it over so that, you know, it isn't sharp on your hands. And we're just poking around here, cleaning up the nose and all that good stuff. How you doing, Amy Jo? Sean Brooks? Jordy Johnson at Carving Fusion. We got the little flex cut pelican knife that I've slightly modified. And we're just trimming around the nose and making the nostrils pop out there a little bit more. He ends up with a pretty big nose. But I like that. That's my preference, is to make these guys with big honking noses. Just because it's funny. I think it's funny. You can see we're back at it with that little razor knife. Yep. I like it because you can take off pretty good chunks of wood with it. And you can take really thin slices with it. You don't got, because that blade is so thin, it lets you get right in there. Yeah, picking his nose with a razor knife. Get that all cut in there. Oh yeah, yeah. Getting the eye channel set. You keep working back and forth. You want to try getting the corners and stuff the same, both up by the nose and then out by the sides of the head. Now I'm cutting straight down there because I want to move that ear back, okay? Because your ears aren't right by your eyes; they're back a little bit from your eyes. So that's what I'm doing there. I'm going to get ready to push them ears back a little bit, clean up under the hat. Yeah. He's going to have big bushy eyebrows. Yep. Doing that little swoop cut for the temple. Little swoop cut there from the corner of the eye. I like to start it right at the corner of the eye and then swoop it in to narrow his forehead. Yep. That's the way I've been doing it. I think it's looking okay. It kind of looks like one of them guys that work on the dock, don't he? If I didn't tell you that was a bandana with hair over top of it, you would think it was more like one of them beanie hats, or what my Canadian friends call them, toques. Looks like a toque. Yep. So, see, you don't have to make a hillbilly. You can make a big, bushy, bearded, big-eared dock worker. Yep. So you can get a lot of ideas off from, you got one idea, well, I'm going to make this guy with hair and a bandana, and then you look at it and you're like, hey, I can make this guy with that. Instead of hair, I can turn that into a beanie or toque, and still give him big ears, and he would look like he was an outdoorsman, hunter, or whatever. Or they worked on the docks. If he was a little bit longer, we could give him a trench coat, but he's only 3 inches long, and we had a hard enough time squeezing all of them in, with the beard, because we gave him a decent sized beard, and it's just a matter of keep going back and moving your ears back so you got enough room on the side of your head, and moving the hat back, or not hat, the headband back, doing that little circle cut, just roughing in some ear holes. Nothing amazing going on. That'll all change. It changes. Trying to get that little chip of wood out of there. Now we got that other knife. That really long knife that I made. Yep. I think I'm going to need to do some more work on this knife. I think that I spent quite a bit of time buffing it to make it nice and smooth, and it works kind of okay. I don't think that it's the highest grade of steel. It does hold the edge. I did try a file test on it. It did just skated across it, so it's probably okay steel. And I know it was made for wood carving, because I got the steel from a old Stanley chisel, and then I kind of reground it. I should have put it in the forge and beat it flat, but I just ground it to what I wanted, and there it is. But yeah, we're going to use this quite a bit here. This utility blade, utility knife, that's what it's called. Yep. If you hear a dog barking, it's because it's a dog barking.
Okay.
Yeah, so this knife works out. This utility knife works out pretty good. What else can I tell you? We're just refining all the shapes, and we'll get to the beard. I do have some missing footage because of my stupid camera. It seems like every video I'll record 20 minutes of what's my fault. I should check, but I check and it's in the wrong orientation. So then I got to go back and reorientate it. And so that footage I can't use because it's in the wrong orientation. It throws the rest of the footage off and wants to change it into the wrong orientation. So I'm sure there's a setting that I don't quite understand. So I don't think you guys are missing much anyway. Carving this little guy here. Just wanted to clean them ears up. Work that bandana. There's a lot of taking that bandana back, I can tell you that. Because every time we bring back the temple or eyebrows or something, then it makes the bandana look like it. I mean, come on, it's not realistic, right? But in my brain, it says it's too far out, so then I gotta go back and trim it down. And then you look at it and you're like, oh, the ears need to go in more. That's what we're doing there. Getting that cleaned up. And we get the other side. And remember, on this guy, the first guy that I showed you, his bandana went over the hair, so it had the hair bunched up. On this guy, the bandana is going to go under the top of the hair, so it looks like the hair is hanging over the bandana instead of the bandana holding the hair. So I just decided to do that to give it a little different context. The first guy, the bandana was over the hair, and on this guy, we're going to put the hair so it's over the bandana. And that's what we got going there. Him and his Munster's haircut he's got going right now. We'll give him a hairdo at the end. Oh, there he is. That's the first guy. And then that's the second guy. You see the bandana is... See the difference in the bandanas? Okay, so I did one eye off camera. And here's the other eye. And what I'm doing is putting a lower eyelid in there. Trying to match them up. And that's what we're doing. Then I'm rounding the eye over a little bit. Making the bottom eyelid loop into, wrap around into underneath the top eyelid. Right? So that looks right. That's what we got going there. And we got a diamond burr in the micromotor. That's what we're using to fade in the eye lower eyelid. Yeah. It's been not too bad here as far as weather goes for this time of year. But then it got hot and sticky. But today, it was warm, but it's been raining all day. Georgie's not feeling good. Got stomach flu. Okay. Still got that diamond burr in there. Still working on it. Now we've got a engraving burr in the other micromotor, and we're cutting in the upper eyelid. I know, it's like, wow, as many times as you cut an eyelid, As many times as you carve an eye, how can you keep changing it? Well, I'm still looking for that best way. You know, whenever you're carving, you always want to try a different way, see if it's better, see if it's worse, see if you like it better, see if you don't like it better. Um, yeah, I don't know about this way. Seems to take longer, a little more tedious. Working up underneath there with that diamond burr. With these little guys, when you start putting eyelids on them, oh my goodness. It's so easy to chip out the wood. Okay, now we've got a diamond burr, different shape, or different shape fire burr, flame burr, but it's still a flame burr. I have a couple different shapes of that. This one's more of a football instead of like a teardrop. The flame burr is more like a teardrop. And this one here is more like a football. Doing a little cleanup. Cleaned up in the eyeballs. Put a little water on it. Sometimes it can be, like I said, you get into these little faces, it can get pretty stringy as far as the cuts. And it gets, with the diamond burrs, you get used to that smooth cut with the knife. But then when you jump into these diamond burrs and start sanding, and it roughs up the wood and makes it a little fuzzy, and I don't know, I really like the knife finish. So you can see we lost some footage, like where we cut the mustache in, but we got the eyes done. So I'm using that little knife I made. The intent was that with this little knife here was 4 eyes, but I might have to work on it a little bit more. You know, it's all DNR, development and research and development. And we're getting the beard outlined in and the cheeks outlined in. And that's pretty much the way he's going to look, other than we'll go back and put hair in there and maybe give him some extra age lines to make him look a little older. Now I'm pushing that ear back again because I want the room. I need the room on the side of the face for the beard to flow through there. Okay. And then we're just pushing those ears back till we get them where we like them. You know, because it's still on that ear is still on the original 45-degree angle from the corner. So I just do that rolling cut there to kind of keep moving them ears back so that we can get right there. See, that's what I'm talking about. Just that little sliver of hair, sideburn, could go down alongside the face so your beard isn't running right into your hair, is what I'm getting after. But you don't even have to do that. You can just have the beard come out from under the ear. Depends on how you like it, how you want it. Because the ears can actually be pushed back a little bit more yet. We can just flatten them out a little bit. See? Like that. Need to get that ear back a little more. See how I'm cutting this one back on an angle? The other one's kind of more straight. So we'll have to take care of that. Okay, we're doing that little scoop cut there to kind of get the ear hole put in. Like that. You just keep working back and forth and round till you get it how you like it, right? Oh, hitting it with my head. Yeah, terrible. Some terrible camera work here, Rob. Terrible camera work. Yep, I know, you don't have to yell at me. I've been yelling at myself when I was editing this video. Yep, see, even that. Bad camera work. Bad. We ain't carving sheep or carving a motorcycle guy with the big old beard. Now, I give these guys, the two I did here, really full beards. You don't have to. You can, maybe the next one we'll give them just like a 5 o'clock shadow. And maybe not a bandana. Maybe something else. And just going over everything with that. This carbide flame burr. Carbide flame burr. 1/32 shaft. Is it 3/32 shaft? Maybe it's 3. It's smaller than an eighth. Okay. So, it looks like we got the hair maker in there. It's a taper inverted cone. That's what it is. And that's how we're going to put the hair in. And of course, we're going to start off with the eyebrows. And I didn't realize it, but when I turned the video off, then went back late, a little bit later, turned it on, I got 2 settings. And guess which one it was on? That's right, it was on the zoom setting. So as I'm editing this, I'm like, man, that camera moved. How the heck did that happen? Must have hit it. And then I'm like, well, la-di-da, da-di-da, da-di-da, we're going on here. And I look at the camera a little more. I'm like, hey, doofus, you got it on zoom. So I have to unzoom it, which will be coming up here any second. We'll unzoom out of here. And it's like, man, you just gotta, it'd be so nice to have a cameraman. But, you know, we're a one shop inspector and a Just Card Rob operation here. Whenever we operate. Up, see, right there, I told you. It's like, dee-dee-dee. Ah, yes, realize the camera was zoomed in. And now I cropped it so you can see it a little bit better. I'm going to be running out of, we're going to be ending this video here pretty quick. So I'd just like to say, share, subscribe, and like. And I turned off the bright light to give them a little more shadow so you can see it better. Taking the wire brush to them, doing, hit my head. And we got going back and cutting deeper channels in those hairs to make them stand out a little bit more. Yep, that's what we're doing there. Hey, Glenn McKelvey. How you doing, Glenn? Hope you're doing well. Yep, there he is. All right, share, subscribe, like. Be awesome. Carve something awesome. Carve every day if you can. Thanks and bye-bye. We will catch you on the next one. Okay, Sean Brooks? All right. Bye-bye.